of North Carolina for the next 15 minutes. Folks, if you would, for those in the room, once again, please be reminded as you ask the question, identify yourselves and the agency that you represent. As well, let's make sure that you're addressing one of our personalities with the question that you would like answered. So with that said, who would like our first question from the floor? We're going to go right side. We're going to spend our first two questions right here, second row to the right.
Hey, this one's for Armando. Lucas Tomei, Daily Tar Heel. Armando, after experiencing that losing season in your first year of the program, what's it been like just being a part of this program building itself back up to where it is right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's been amazing to see just from my freshman year to now where we at, just because a lot of people, they try to count out North Carolina and try to say that we're done, and I feel like we're just back where we started.
Still right here, just to his right.
Yeah, this one is for Coach Davis, Shelby Swanson, Daily Tar Heel. I've been talking a lot to the other ACC coaches today about the expectations for you entering your second season. I was talking to the Georgia Tech head coach. He joked that if you guys didn't go 40-0, people would be disappointed. I just wanted to ask, what kind of pressure, if any, are you feeling going into this second season?
There isn't any pressure. A number of people have asked, have we approached this year any different than last year? The answer to that is no. Last year, there were a number of things that we wanted to achieve and we wanted to do. 4 of them are always been a foundation part of Carolina. Even when I was playing, the 9 years that I was an assistant coach and now the 2 years as a head coach, we wanted to win the regular season ACC title. We wanted to win the tournament title. We wanted to get to a Final Four. We wanted to win a national championship. And so the reality is last year, we were 1 game away from winning the regular season title. We were 1 game away from playing the ACC tournament title. And we were 1 rebound away from winning the national championship. At the beginning of the year, as they opened up their lockers for the first practice of last year, there was a picture of the New Orleans Superdome in there. And so I wanted them to see where we were headed in April and the hard work and the preparation and practice that had to be put in place to put ourselves in a position to do that. It's the same approach this year as compared to last year. The only difference between last year and this year is the outside noise. Last year, the outside noise didn't think we had a chance. The outside noise this year thinks we do have a chance. And the things that I have talked to the players and the team a number of times daily is that there's negative noise, and that's criticism, and there's positive noise, and that's praise. Even though they come from different directions, there's still noise. And to focus on what is real and our preparation, our practice, and at the end of the day, that we'll be happy with the results at the end of the season.
To your left, third row, if you would raise your hand, please. Thank you.
Jordan Davis, Spectacular Magazine Sports. Last year was a pretty impressive year for you guys. You guys got all the way to the championship game. What was the main lesson that you guys basically learned and encapsulated from last year's run that you guys can incorporate into this year? This is for the players also, by the way.
So Armando, why don't you take it first, and so that we can get to as many questions as we can, we'll have Coach follow that up.
Yeah, I would say just coming off how we played in the last year of the season, I think really the main thing we can take away from last season is just kind of what our identity is and what we need to do to win and what we don't need to do so we don't lose.
Coach, follow that up.
No, one of the things that we always talk about is the first thought of the day of every practice since for the last 60 years is it's amazing what can be accomplished when no one cares who gets the credit. And one of the things, many things that I'm so proud of all of them was their perseverance and their toughness and their resiliency. I've always told them that, in life, not just in basketball, you're going to get knocked down. You are, not if, you are. And when you do, you have a choice of whether to point fingers and make excuses and not get back up, or you can get back up. And this team did a great job last year of always getting back up and competing. And I'm just so proud of them. We have such great kids, great players, and it's a joy and a privilege and an honor to be around them every day.
On the right side, towards the back.
How you doing, fellas? JB Ricks here from Spectrum News 1. This question is for RJ and for Caleb. Has there been any discussion at all about repeating history from the 2017 team that won the championship and becoming the redeemed team part 2? Any discussion at all about that?
He didn't ask me.
I mean, we definitely talked about it, just of how like the year ended last year, and coming back again this year. I feel like me and Caleb, arguably, up there with the best backcourts in college basketball, and just the way last year ended and how we're approaching this year. It's the same mindset, but it's more of a like, we know we have a target on our backs, we know what's at risk, so it's kind of like a championship or bust mindset. So, and I know what happened in 2016, and then for them to come back in 2017 and like run the whole back and win the whole thing, that's kind of like our approach as well.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it, just to piggyback off what he said, but we kind of want to write our own story, and this is a new team, this is a new age, so for us to go out this year and do what we got to do, knowing with that what happened last year, we're like more motivated than ever.
Same row, still on the right side towards the edge.
Taylor Vipwitz, Inside Carolina. Coach, it's been 10 years since you came back to North Carolina to be a coach. Where do you think you've grown the most since that first year with when you were with guys like Marcus Page, Bryce Johnson, Joel James? Where do you think you've grown the most?
Well, it's not necessarily where I've grown. It's an appreciation of where I'm at. I had always wanted to be a part of Carolina basketball growing up, and to think that I actually got to play at Carolina, I got to go to school and get an education at Carolina. After I spent 12 years in the NBA, my wife and I decided to raise our children at Carolina. My wife and I got married in Chapel Hill, and to think that for the last 11 years, I've been a part of this program, whether it's been 9 years as an assistant coach and now heading into my second year as head coach. It really does. It puts you in a place of humbleness and thankfulness and appreciation to be in a place that you have always loved. I don't look at it as a job at all. I've said it before, this is missionary work. It just gives me a platform and an ability to be in each one of these kids' lives and to give back everything that Coach Smith gave to me. And so I said this, I spoke to a group, I haven't told the guys this, I spoke to a group last week, and I said that I enjoy being around them so much, like I would like to play with them. Like this is a group that I wish that I was in a locker room or running out of that tunnel and on the floor with. And it's because I'm around just great kids, and it's something that you don't take for granted, and I'm very, very appreciative and thankful for that every day.
We've got 6.5 minutes left. We're going to get as many as we can. Second row to the right.
Terrence Hatchett, Carolina Blitz. Coach, this question is for you. Last year during the NCAA tournament, your core group of players got the nickname the Iron Five. You returned 4 of those 5 players back. My question to you is there anybody outside your core group that has stood out so far?
Yeah, one of the things is that I'm excited about is the opportunity to have depth this year. I didn't go into the season wanting to play 5.5 guys, particularly towards the end of the season. The players dictate the rotation. But I love the growth of Dontrez Styles and DeMarco Dunn, and then you bring in the freshmen and Tyler Nickel and Seth Trimble and Jalen Washington and Will Shaver. I love their determination, their growth, and their ability out there on the floor. And then you talk about Pete Nance, a transfer from Northwestern who's had an unbelievable career in the Big Ten, but he's never been to the NCAA tournament. So there's a hunger and thirst coming from all different types of directions that's going to allow us to have depth. And as I said before, there were only 2 games last year that I felt like our lack of depth, that they were tired. One was against Virginia Tech in the ACC tournament, and then in the second half in the national championship game against Kansas.
We keep it right there, just to his right.
Royal Howell, Carolina Blitz. Coach Schubert, this is for you. I spoke to several coaches today, and the common theme has been expanding the NCAA tournament. Do you honestly think that the NCAA tournament should be expanded to more than 64 teams?
You know, that's something that I don't think about, and it's something that I'm not in a position to make those type of decisions. My job is to be their coach and to help this team become the best team it can possibly become. One of the things that I always tell the guys is focus on what is real, and what is real is us and our development and our practice and our preparation, and so that at the end of the year we can feel good about where we are. And so whether the NCAA tournament is expanded or not, at the end of the day, my focus has to be on this team, and that's where it is, and that's where it will be.
Follow the aisle right up the center to the right.
Trayvon Miles, ABC 11, right here. This question is for the players. I'm going to address it to Caleb and Armando. When we met with you guys over the summer, you guys were flat out, Caleb anyway, talking about championship or bust. I hear that same thing here today. How do you kind of keep level, to let the season play out the way it is versus what your expectations are wanting to get back to a national championship?
We just take it one day at a time, one day, one game at a time, and Coach Davis is great at that, keeping us level-headed and focused on the task at hand. And so,
I got on him a little bit yesterday at practice. So.
Yeah, that's every practice though. It's not a challenge to us because even when going through the NCAA tournament, he kept us level-headed because we was on a high note, and each and every game. They were calling us Cinderella team, this and that. We lucky to be here, all that. Even going into Duke, they said we couldn't do that. But it's like Coach Davis always preaches, a lot of outside noise, and we don't really worry about any of that. We just focus on our team and us getting better and better each and every day.
Armando, that was also to you as well, I believe.
Yeah, like what Caleb said, we're just looking at it one day at a time.
Well done.
Thanks, Armando.
We'll clear another question towards the back on the left-hand side. Sir, please raise your hand. Thank you.
Kevin Young from the three-point conversion. My question is for Armando. How important was it after you got hurt and the ankle injury? How important was it as far as getting back to 100% over the summer?
Yeah, we got a great training staff, and they did a great job even with getting hurt in the Final Four game of just like helping me rehab. And in North Carolina, we got the best resources, so it wasn't that hard. But knowing I was coming back, it allowed me to not have to rush my recovery, and I just was able to just get in the gym and just work on my body and my ankles and everything day by day. And I'm in a great place.
To your right, front row.
Ross Martin, inside Carolina. For the players, start with RJ. How is Coach Davis different this year, these first couple weeks, compared to this time last year?
I wouldn't say he's different at all. He comes in every day in practice with the same energy, same passionate person that he is, and same motivation that he's bringing to the team. So, obviously we know this upcoming year is big for us, but that doesn't change who the person he is, his energy, and what he wants best for us. And I think that's what we all love about him, and that's why we love playing for him.
North Carolina, thank you. Good luck this season.
Okay, thank you very much.
Folks, Clemson is due